Okay, everyone, here is the tag that we made last week. I know some of you were asking about the video and the dimensions for it. So just a refresher on what we did last week. There is a pocket, whoops, didn't quite slide into that. There is a pocket up here that I'm having some trouble getting into, but there's a pocket right there. There is a pocket down here. And then this flap opens up for journaling space. There is a pocket here on this side that you can tuck into, a pocket here on this side that you can tuck into. Again, I can't quite get that, there it is, in there. So there's a pocket there, and this opens up for journaling space, and there is a pocket here. So we'll quick go through the directions and the dimensions for that. And we'll start with one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, scored at 3 and 5/8, 3 and 5/8, and then 3 and 5/8 here, and folded in half. And I've already got this one done. There ended up being just a little bit of overhang on the side that I went ahead and trimmed off. So you'll want these to match up and be as even as possible. And that is scored on the long side and folded on the long side. And then on the short side, you'll pick one side, and I scored it at 2.5. So once you have that done, you can fold it, and you'll do a tri-fold like this and open it back up. And we're going to cut out, this is where it's folded up at 2.5. We're going to cut this middle piece right here out, completely off. And thin paper is fine for this. I'm just using a regular sheet of copy paper because we're going to be covering it with decorative paper, and then it's pockets, so there will be stuff put inside of it. So it's totally fine if you just use lightweight paper. So when you are finished, your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper should look something like this. And when it is folded, it will be that middle section that's missing that. You'll fold this side up so it opens like that. You'll turn it over and fold this one up so that it looks like that. From there, the next thing that you'll want to do is turn it into a tag shape. So I cut the corners off, and then I will just flip that corner over, and I will use that as a template to snip the corner on the other side so that they're even. So it should look like that. Once that's done, we're going to open it up. It doesn't matter which side you open up first, but we are going to open that up, and we are going to glue this closed. So we're going to put glue up here from this cut over to this cut, all the way up. We'll glue that closed, and then we'll put just one thin strip of glue here along the very bottom and glue that closed. And you'll fold that and glue that. And when you're done doing that, that will make your, it should be on this side, that will make your first pocket here. That will, when it's all said and done, that will make your first pocket on the side. Once you're done with that, you can open it up from the other side, and you can add glue in the same exact spots on the other side. And we'll fold that over and close that up, and that will make your other pocket. So now you should have an opening for a pocket on this side here, and an opening for a pocket over here on this side. These two flaps should still be loose, but your tag shape should be there. From there, the next thing we're going to want to do is put these little flaps in here. So what I have here is 2 sheets of paper. This is coffee dyed paper. If you're going to ink the edges of your project, now is also a good time to do some inking around these pieces, because when you open them up, you're going to see that. So if you want to do some inking, you can go ahead and do that on these pieces. And what I'm going to do, if you want your paper to open this way, you will put your seam to the left, or if you want it to open to the right or to the other way, you can put your seam on the right side. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down, and we are going to glue it above where that is. The measurement on this piece of paper is 2.5 inches wide, and this is just over 7.5 inches because I didn't cut it down, but I will cut it down once it's glued on there. I'll go ahead and cut those off. So it's 2.5 by 7.5 will give you enough, because that's what I used here. I don't remember what the exact measurement is, and we can glue that down here. And you just want to make sure that you are gluing above where the fold of the pocket is going to come to. And ideally below where your tag shape starts. So I'm going to glue that down. I did that wrong. If you want that to be a pocket, you'll only want to glue on these 3 sides. I actually glued this full piece down on this one because I wasn't thinking, but you'll want to glue just this side, and this side. And you'll want to leave this open as a pocket if you want that to be a pocket. And then we'll just trim the excess off here. So on this one that I have done, I only glued on those 3 sides so that this is open and I can stick something in there as a pocket. All right, then we have our decorative paper pieces that we're going to decorate the front and the back with. If you're doing both sides, so I have some that I've done both sides and I have some that I've only done one side. If you're doing both sides, I like to actually glue the other side, the piece of paper on the other side at this point, so that I can make sure that it lines up and it's symmetrical on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'm going to remember to glue it as a pocket. So I'm only going to glue the 3 sides, and because I didn't cut it down ahead of time, I'm actually going to glue 2 sides, and then I will open it up and glue that 3rd one down. Do that, close it, trim this off, and then I'll glue that last little piece down. So now I've left one side open as a pocket and the other side is fully glued down. All right, from there you will need your decorative paper pieces, and these are 3 5/8 inches wide. However, they are just long enough, this one's shorter, so we'll do this one first, just long enough that you want it to go under the pocket so that it goes all the way down into the pocket, but it doesn't necessarily need to go all the way down to the bottom. Just into the pocket is fine. And what we're going to do to make this even and to make this all work out is we are going to glue it to just just this flap. We're not going to glue it to the whole thing because we're going to cut that out so that it can work. So I like to cut after it's been glued, so I'm going to glue it to just this pocket. So now you can open this piece up and it will look something like that once you have it fully open. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this and this off right along the edge of that paper. So now when I look at my tag, it looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to glue this piece on. And the reason that I cut it when you have decorative paper, the reason I cut it afterwards is to make sure that my image lines up exactly and I don't have to worry because I know that I've glued everything on the right way. So we'll go ahead and glue this little piece on here. Making the adjustment to make sure that all of my lines line up there. And making sure I can still open that, making sure my pocket's still open. And then also along the bottom, you can make sure that your lines line up exactly when you're gluing that in place. Just glue that right there. And then once you have that glued in place, we can go ahead and trim off the corners so that you keep your tag shape with this. All right, there we have that. Now we can go ahead and take the bottom section, and this is 2.5. This decorative paper is 2.5 because that's where we put the fold here, 2.5 high by the 3 5/8 width of the tag. So we're going to glue this piece on. And from there you can trim off if there's any excess, because like I said, my tag was a little bit, I had to trim some on the corners, so sometimes there ends up being a little bit of extra paper there. This time there really isn't any extra paper, so so that's what that looks like. So then we're going to glue down the pocket. So we're going to put glue on just this edge here and this edge over here. And fold that up like that. And that is how you make the pocket tag that we made last week. You now have your open journaling space, a pocket up here. You have your pocket right there when the glue dries, your 2 pockets on the inside, and then you just repeat that process with your decorative paper and the bottom tab here, and you'll have completed the tag that we made last week.